This is a mannequin dressed as a worshipful master. That's what we refer to the president of the lodge as. Now, we don't worship him by any means. Worshipful master is just an honorific title that we use to refer to the president of the lodge. And since Freemasonry is kind of like leadership school, it's kind of the opportunity for someone to actually lead a lodge with a small amount of risk, because we have a lot of brothers backing him up. Past masters, for example, are going to help him as advisors and things like that. But really, it's his opportunity to run the lodge for at least a year.
What lets you know that this is a worshipful master?
Good question. First of all, where he's standing, behind the podium,
okay,
in the east. The hat that he wears. Only the worshipful master can wear a hat within the lodge. That's kind of the hat of authority. And then the symbol on his officer jewel. That is the square, and that's the jewel, that's the symbol for a worshipful master. The apron that he's wearing is kind of like a nondescript general apron. It just has the square and compasses on it. So this apron is not necessarily an officer's apron. Most worshipful masters might have an apron with a square on it. And I think we've seen one of those in an earlier video. Mm-hmm. But basically, let me tighten you up here, buddy. Basically, the hat and the jewel are what we can see visibly what makes him a worshipful master. And his job is to run the lodge for his term of office, to be kind of the guide to the other brothers of the lodge.
What's the difference between a Grand Master and a worshipful master?
Okay, a Grand Master is like the president of a jurisdiction. A worshipful master is like president of a specific lodge. In the Grand Lodge of Michigan, there are literally hundreds of different local lodges with hundreds of different worshipful masters. There's only one Grand Master. He's kind of running the show for the jurisdiction. But a worshipful master is governing his local lodge specifically. He has no say over any other lodge in the jurisdiction. The Grand Master is governing the whole jurisdiction, so he's kind of like watching out for all the lodges in the jurisdiction.
The title Most Worshipful Master with the most in there, is that different?
Yeah, there's kind of different titles. Once a person becomes a worshipful master, they go from being a brother to a worshipful brother. So we refer to them as worshipful brothers. And when you hear somebody say that, that means they have served as a worshipful master.
Okay.
Now, a Grand Master, once he becomes a Grand Master, he becomes most worshipful brother.
Okay.
So when you hear somebody referred to as a most worshipful brother, that means they have been or are the Grand Master of a particular jurisdiction.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, Big Daddy Top Hat here. In the past on this channel we have already looked at the entire history of various final boss characters from the Street Fighter universe. These have of course included the eye patch wearing Sagat from the original 1987 game, M. Bison, the iconic evil dictator from Street Fighter 2, Gil the Illuminati leader with godlike powers from Street Fighter 3, and even Seth, the overpowered android from Street Fighter 4. Moving on to Street Fighter V, the game would see M. Bison back from the dead and more powerful than ever, functioning as the final challenge in both the game's arcade and story modes. But in February 2020, Capcom would shock the world by declaring that they recognised a completely different character as the final boss of the game, one of whom did not even exist when the base game was originally released. As the thumbnail suggests, the character I'm referring to is of course the so-called President of Planet Earth, G, a fighter who, as things stand, is one of the most mysterious competitors in the entire Street Fighter universe. So in today's episode, not only are we going to cover exactly why he is considered Street Fighter V's final boss, but discuss everything we know about this enigmatic combatant. So without further ado, this, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of G, the mysterious character who could be shaping up to be one of Street Fighter's most important villains ever. Yeah!